Okay, now I'm pleased to say I'm with Damian Wilson at the Pizza Express Holborn. How's it going, Damian?
It's all very good. It's all very good. It's a very comfortable place to be, isn't it?
Yes, and you're performing again with Adam tonight as part of the duo Wilson and Wakeman.
That's right, and Adam being one of my favourite people, we always have a bit of fun.
Yes. Now, it's a while since you played here. I think it must be 2019, was it? When
Pre-pandemic.
last year? Yes. Yeah. So, what have you been up to since then?
Probably much the same as everyone else. I've been home a lot.
Yes.
If only I had a home to go to. So, but I kind of found myself. Well, I was actually meant to be going on tour just as the pandemic hit, and so I was in a van about to go on tour,
yes,
and I spent the pandemic in the same van. But it was great. It was great. I was
Well, be a bit of freedom, I guess, with the.
Well, I was actually parked up in a very nice little place.
Yes.
So I had a bit of my own space, so it's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So good timing in that sense, and I guess you'll have been pleased to get back to doing live shows again.
Very pleased to be doing live shows. Although it's a different environment, you know. It's funny. It's with ticket sales and things like that.
Yes.
It's very different. Pre-sales, people aren't buying tickets in advance, and I think there's a lot of people with not a lot of money.
Yeah. Have you been touring quite recently? I mean, I believe you're on a bit of a UK tour at the moment. Is that right?
Well, we are doing a UK tour, and both of us we work with different bands as well.
Yes.
Aside from this, and so we try to keep ourselves touring as much as we can.
Yes, and I believe you've joined a new band recently. Is that?
Arena, yes, because I toured with them just in the autumn time.
Oh, right.
And I found that was a strange thing with the touring as well, because I think again with pre-sales and the like.
Yes.
And actually that was very different, because I think again with the pre-sales, and normally where you're selling your tickets well in advance.
Yes.
I think with the pandemic everyone's been a bit burnt from buying tickets, and I think they haven't got the money.
Yes.
And so I think there were a lot of places that we thought we weren't going to get anyone, but actually the shows, they came out for the shows.
Right.
It was brilliant.
Yes.
And the guys from Arena, it was we had a decent 30 shows or so, with the tour bus and all. It was fantastic.
Oh, right. And you've joined the band full time now?
Yes. I take each day as it comes.
Yes.
I don't know. There's many bands that I think I'm in that I'm no longer in. So it's like I don't know. I just I take it all in with stride. I mean, these guys have been doing it for 30 years, and we take each step at a time.
Yes. Now, I must just ask you about Camden town memories, because you must have been around the place a lot over the years. So, do any particular memories come to mind?
It is the canal that I love, and I've lived on the canal,
right?
Around Camden, and
on your own boat.
On my own boat. So it's very much home to me. And in fact, I can. If you go down to Primrose Hill, I can tell you where the best water is.
Right.
The church up at Primrose Hill is definitely got the nicest water. Right. It's like this. Yeah. I've loved being around Camden.
Yes. Yes. What about any particular shows that you've been to there that you remember over the years?
In Camden.
Or played there?
I mean, I think obviously the last last shows we did with Arena. We played at the Powerhouse, and the Powerhouse is great. And of course, with Power, obviously used to Astoria and all the great it's great input into live music in London and beyond. And so to me, it's a classic place to go. And so the fact actually Vince Power came to the show as well with with his son Tom, who was involved as well. Yeah. So it's nice. Yeah, good musical family then.
Yes. Now, as well as your work with Arena, you've also been very busy with Adam, so you're currently on a UK tour, is that right?
So we're doing a UK tour, and which we do every year.
Yes.
So which is so we go all the way up to Scotland. We did 5 shows up in Scotland and then came down here. So we're on this is our 10th show of the tour, and it's our 100th show together.
Oh right.
So it's it's quite an evening for us, really. Yeah.
An anniversary.
That's right, of course. Which is and Adam's just so easy to work with, to be honest.
Yes.
He's such an easy fella, and he's worked with. He works with an awful lot of great musicians. Obviously, his history being with Black Sabbath and with Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes.
But the reason is he's so easy to get on with.
Yes, he's worked with Slash from Guns N' Roses, I believe, as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Slash. Yeah, with. There's not many people he hasn't worked with.
No.
Even bands like Travis and but you name Annie Lennox. He's worked with everyone.
Yeah.
The funny thing, we've got a band that we do, which is like a progressive metal band called Headspace.
Oh yes.
And we were in a bar up in Edinburgh one evening. We were discussing. We all kind of come from a kind of heavy metal to heavy rock kind of background.
Yes.
We were all trying to work out which was the band that connected us all.
Oh right. Yes.
And I thought it might be a band like Deep Purple
Yes.
or The Who or something. We all and the one band that we found that united us all, which we'd all worked with in some form
Yes.
or other independently, was Atomic Kitten.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So we were just talking actually because this week the band Catatonia are in town.
Oh right. Okay.
And in the studio we were talking about the theme of cats actually came up.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So Atomic Kitten. Was
because we were talking about a former member of Atomic Kitten, Kerry Katona,
of course. Yeah.
and it came up, is Kerry Katona a cat owner? That came up.
Oh right. Gotcha. I see.
And yeah, we're not sure. I think she might have a dog actually, not a cat. So
All right. Well.
ironic twist.
Exactly.
But all right, but you have worked with Atomic Kitten. You
Well,
said.
I did a vocal with them.
Okay, right.
I think Adam
That's
may
so
have
cool.
better contact with what's happening currently with Atomic Kitten. Although I think it's been a few years since I've seen Adam with them. So yeah.
Right.
It's a funny thing. I don't know. As a working musician, I mean, you do find yourself in all kinds of little corners.
Yes.
And it's bizarre, really, because I can't. It's certainly with my career, it's been done a lot of things that people wouldn't think that you would do, but it's more circumstances. The fact that you find yourself, you meet someone and then they go, "Oh, do you want to come? You fancy having a sing?"
Yes.
Before you know it, you're on a house record or something.
That's
like
right.
that.
Yes. Or a 20-date tour somewhere.
Yes, or 20-day tour. Well, with Adam, it is very much. He's an old friend of mine, and we like working with each other.
Yes.
We like coming on tour, and we're buddies. And when we get on stage, I think that's what we're selling.
Yes.
Really, and hopefully a bit of a talent with it.
Yes. So we must have a good connection because to have done 100 shows, then something must be
Working.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. But the other things, I'm a big believer in working with people who push you up.
Yes.
And celebrate your success.
Do you feel Adam pushes you to get the most out of your voice? Do you think?
No. No, not at all. No, I don't know. He lets me do my own thing. I mean, there are people.
Yes.
I mean, of course, it's great being pushed to better yourself.
Yes.
But I think a lot of the time, actually, what you're trying to do is actually just allow you to express yourself.
Ah, right. So more creative freedom than.
Yeah, completely. Yes. And I think there's a lot of people who will bring out the best in you. There's certainly. I mean, I often talk. There's a chap in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Who doesn't like touring, but he just plays his local venue.
Oh, yes.
But his local venue is over 3,000 people.
Ah.
And he sells it out in minutes.
Yes.
And so we're going in September. I'm going over to play in the Netherlands in Tilburg with him. And we've got 5 shows in three days.
Right.
Sold out, with 3,000 to 3,500 people.
Oh, right.
A guy called Aaron Lucasen, and he's great. He's great, but he brings out everyone he works with. He brings out the very best in them,
right? Yes.
And he will push them forward, and he'll push them ahead of himself.
Yes.
But ultimately, it works well for him.
Yes.
And he makes us sound good.
Well, yes. If everybody's pulling in the same direction in a band, then.
Yeah, I think. But a lot of time you get a lot of people, to envy in bands and things where they pull you back or they knock you down. But I like working with people who won't knock me down.
Yes, I guess that's why a lot of bands over the years don't stay together with the same people because, yes, I guess naturally with particularly bands with 4 or more people, you're bound to get disagreements over the years, and it's difficult.
Sure, that's not always a bad thing either, because the edginess in bands, what I've seen over the years, has actually made bands.
Yes, it can.
Although it's not always that easy to work with people, but sometimes, and I'm a big believer in if it's easy, go with it.
Yes,
but not when it comes to creativity. That edginess can really add something to a band.
Yes.
And actually, I can think of there's bands I've been in that have been lots of infighting.
Right.
And those have been the times when they've been at their best.
Okay. Yes, it can shape the band, I guess.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
I suppose I'm thinking of the Gallagher brothers. Actually, I guess.
Well, yeah, exactly.
They have that, but then sometimes too much, and I guess it's meant that the band hasn't been together for a while now. But yes, when they were together, there was always that edge to them that you never knew if they were going to get on or not. So.
And competitiveness, I think, can be a good thing.
That's right. Yes. Now, speaking of working with people, I believe also that you have worked with Adam's dad, Rick, as well.
Sure.
Yes. was that on a particular album, or how did that?
I worked with him for a number of years. I did some tours. I did tours in South America, several tours in South America, in Asia, and
yes,
we did quite a few shows with him.
I'm thinking you might fit the John Anderson type vocal. Would that be?
I don't. John Anderson's very different to me.
Yes.
I'm definitely a belter. John Anderson seems to be quite unique. He has this.
Yeah.
His belt is like a whisper.
Yes.
You know, it's a unique voice.
Yes, it has. Yeah.
And I don't. He's John Anderson. I don't think anyone really sings like John Anderson other than John Anderson.
Yes,
you know?
you're right. He's got a unique voice.
Yeah,
yes.
and beautiful too. Obviously,
yes.
you know. He's got quite a special voice, old John Anderson.
Yes, but are there certain songs that you feel Rick likes you to sing? Or?
I don't know. I mean, I think the one thing that I've got decent range.
Yes.
Which is, I just feel very grateful to have.
Yes.
And you know, it's not always going to be there, and once it's there, that's great.
Yeah.
You know.
I seem to remember last time you mentioned that you did some Freddie Mercury. Yeah.
I mean, I obviously have sung, like most people, for some kind of Freddie's work, but but I haven't. Well, there is some. I think there are some things on probably that have been released, but Freddie is. I don't know. I suppose as singers, you always, you should be unique.
Yes.
You know, we should all be different, and I don't think. I like to think that that I sound like myself. I don't. They're sitting next to. It's funny when you get on a plane or something. Suddenly somebody sits next to you and you realise it's one of your heroes or whatever. So I've had it a few times with in places, and the funny thing is most of the time you don't like to say much. Sitting right next to Gary Moore and he's just there. You think you might have struck up a conversation. I was walking through Piccadilly and I saw this chap that I recognised, and I immediately thought he was a mate of mine because he clocked me, I clocked him, and we threw our arms around each other, and he was so nice. I was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And then I looked at him, I thought, "I don't know you, do I?" And it's like, this guy was so nice to me, and it was Robert Plant.
Right.
It was so lovely, and so kind of like, and and then actually I remember there was another time I went down to go and see Roy Harper at the one of the places, where was it? The Royal Festival Hall, I think it was, down on the river, and I sat down, and at the time I was lucky enough to have a song that was played on the radio.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I could hear this song going in the background. I thought, it's my song. You sat there all on your own thinking, you can't share the excitement of hearing your own music being played, which is, I hope that those musicians who get played a lot on and still have a little bit of excitement when they hear their song being played in places. I think so. But it's quite rare for me to get anything on the mainstream radio, that's for sure.
Yes.
And then I thought, that's amazing. I thought, they're playing this. Raw Festival. I thought that's brilliant. And then the next song came along. I thought they're playing the album.
Oh, right.
They're playing my old album.
Oh,
I thought, well, that's brilliant, isn't it? I thought, life doesn't get better than that, being at Royal Festival.
Well,
that's
pretty good. Yes.
Yeah, and then Jimmy Page sat next to me. Sure.
Yeah.
So,
there's a knock at the door there. I just better go and find out who that is. Oh, looks like it's a cup of tea for you. Come in. So,
well, you can't beat a cup of tea, can you?
Is there any sugar in that, or is it?
There is no milk in it.
Oh,
this is oat milk. This is nothing. This is middle age. This is
oat milk.
Oat milk. It's oat milk because I've kind of given up kind of animal fats.
Okay.
Because to try and cure those middle age ailments like high blood pressure and.
Well, dairy's meant to not be good for the voices now, I've heard.
They say that. Yeah, I used to drink loads of it.
All right.
And if I should,
do you usually have a tea before you perform then?
I have a tea before, after, and during.
Right. Yeah. Well, that is meant to be good for the voice as well. Yes, and yes.
I think the stuff that's good for the voice is what you're used to. That's it.
Honey, I think as well is meant to be.
They say,
Yes. Yes. Now, tonight's show, what can we expect from the performance? Will it be a number of the tracks that you've been working on over the years, or some new material? What sort of?
Tonight we have a bit of a mad mix of kind of heavy metal along with to musical theatre, to Les Miserables, to bring Bring Him Home, next to Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath, and the connection is, I mean, that we were connected to all these things, and that's we kind of bring it together on the stage, just with the two of us, with our two instruments, the piano and the guitar, and our two voices. That's it.
Yes. If you get any time off between tours, I mean, do you tend to sort of go off and do your own thing, or
normally if we're having time off between tours, it normally means that Adam is going off on tour with something else, and then we're going off to do stuff. I mean, with the boats, I used to always, for me, I used to go on tour, and I'd moor up the boat,
right,
and then when I wasn't on tour, I'd be up and down the Thames between Limehouse and Lechlade.
Okay.
And in fact, one of my albums is called Limehouse to Lechlade,
and
that would include the Paddington Basin, going around the Paddington Basin, and around in central London too. And that's what I love doing.
Yes. Okay, well, we better let you go shortly because you'll be on stage soon with Adam. Now, I believe you might have some writing with Adam in the pipeline, is that right?
Well, yeah, there'll be another album coming soon.
Okay.
But we're always busy, and we want to keep doing this. We want to keep playing, and spending time touring.
So if you're writing a song with Adam, do you tend to go into the studio and have like a structured morning where you work on a song, or is it very much more ad lib?
No, we get together and we write. But normally what happens is we'll spend an afternoon and we will write ideas together over an afternoon, and we might have like 10 song ideas, and that tends to be the way we work. So we'll run through a load of things, and then we'll spend an afternoon just going through ideas, and then we will structure those songs together. And the best songs we've written have been the ones that we've literally been together written the whole songs.
Right.
And we'll do that, and we might write 20 songs for an album, and then put 12 on the album.
Right.
And writing with people is a strange one, because obviously there's so many different ways you write, and I don't think you should restrict yourself to writing one way.
No.
But when it's easy, and when it is so natural, you've got to go with that. It's a very lucky thing to find.
Yes. Well, thanks for talking to us, Damian, and we wish you the best with the show tonight, and we look forward to the writing for the new album and a new album somewhere down the line.
Good man. Look forward to the show. This is Damian Wilson on Camden Town Radio. Keep rocking.
Sorry you're leaving. It's hard for us all. I just want to tell you the times we smiled through life, and did we not go all the way? Did we laugh through it all? Did we climb over mountains so fearless we fought? Did we seek for adventure? Did we find what we thought?